If you were to go onto Facebook Marketplace right now in search of a $5,000 vehicle, you would be looking at something like a clapped out Toyota Camry, a rusted out Silverado, but if you look hard enough, you can find one of these absolute gems, the Infiniti G35.
Now, Austin has a history of looking at some Lexus models, and we have a handful of videos on buying a cheaper car, like a $5,000, $6,000 car, a Lexus, but we've never really paid attention to the Infiniti. It's never been on either of our radars. So today we check out the 4th generation Infiniti G35 that can be yours for under $5,000. Hello everyone and welcome to Performance on Wheels. My name is Todd, my son Austin and I, we make all sorts of videos on all sorts of different cars. If you could do us a favor by hitting that like and subscribe button, you can join us on our journey.
Now, in the previous video that I made very similar to this, I had a Lexus LS 460L, which I still believe is the best vehicle under $10,000 when it comes to a luxury standpoint. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more enjoyable to drive, a little bit more enthusiast oriented, I don't think there's any beating the G35X. And there's a couple of reasons for that. Under heavy acceleration, the G35 has pretty dang near a perfect 50-50 weight distribution. Now, on top of that, you can get this vehicle in rear wheel drive, but I think the all-wheel drive, the one is the better bet, especially if you're in a cold climate like us here in Minnesota. And what's cool about this is under normal driving in first gear, only 25% of the power is sent to the front drive axle, and everything past that in normal driving, 100% of the power is sent to the rear wheels until it detects any slip, and then it sends some power back to the front again. What that means is this thing is really fun to go do some big nasty slides in the snow and just drive around when it's wet and rainy outside. Its 306 horsepower isn't enough to do that in the dry with healthy tires, but when it's snowy, this is a blast of a car to drive.
The weight distribution is an excellent thing to talk about because that's all about steering feel. The newer, the better. Is it really better though? The Q50, the one that came after the G35 and G37, you see that's got drive-by-wire, so all of that steering feel went away. This, you still have like gears, you still have hydraulic system, so like the steering feel behind the wheel of a G35 is quite remarkable. You accompany that with the almost 50-50 weight distribution, and you have a pretty good time behind the wheel. Now we're showing off the X, which that means all-wheel drive, but you can also get a G35 in a rear-wheel drive only. You can get it as a coupe. You can get it with the 6-speed manual or the 5-speed automatic like this one here.
Now, the G didn't always used to be a G, and it actually used to be front wheel drive. It used to be kind of just a normal economy car until the 3rd generation when they converted it to a rear wheel drive car. So why are we not recommending the 3rd generation, which you could also get in an all wheel drive variant? Well, that's because here in the 4th generation, it got this new look. I think it looks a lot more modern and they added a lot of tech. Just check out all of this standard technology that you can get on the 4th generation G35. This is really cool. Adaptive headlights that you actually have the availability to turn on and off.
Radar adaptive cruise control. We can sync our phone, obviously. All the steering wheel controls to take advantage of the amazing sound system. Heated seats, a sunroof, nice leather seats that are actually holding up pretty well for 170,000 miles. Power steering wheel, check this thing out. That is quite gnarly. The whole column moves. We also have snow mode. We have dual zone climate control, a fun little clock here, and look at this map.
We also have memory seating for the driver, and check out these really cool LED taillights that kind of, in a way, mimic the Nissan GTR.
Let's get to the party trick in the back here because this is fun. This is 2007, although it may not be anything that matters today. What's up, 6-disc changer? Not only do you have push button start, but also push button access.
Now, although a lot of those features were options on the G35, the fact that they even were options is pretty dang cool back in 2007, and it really can make it feel like you have kind of a modern vehicle, especially with some of the aftermarket stuff on the market now. You can swap out that head unit and have yourself a modern feeling vehicle with a lot of really convenient features that even cheaper new cars don't have. So you have yourself a really fun fun driving car that has loads of tech that make it feel pretty modern even in today's day and age. It looks great if you manage to find one that's been well kept, and well, there's got to be some catch, right? Like, there's no way this car is this good. So what are all the reliability concerns with this car?
Austin, there's not really a ton. Like, every car, everything can break, and it is an Infiniti, so technically a luxury brand. So with that, if there are some items that happen to break, there could be a little cha-ching involved. However, at the end of the day, this is an example of a car that maybe has a few bumps and bruises, but zips down the road completely fine. You could have some oil consumption, you could have some burning of oil, you could have a few sensors that go wrong, but ultimately this is a pretty rock solid vehicle. The one thing good about having a car from Minnesota, for everyone that doesn't live here, you can see where the body concerns or where the rust concerns are. And on the G35, I definitely had some on the back side of the rear fender as well as the front side. I put a little lipstick on there to make it look better. I also had some small amounts of rust just underneath that chrome spoiler where that rear backup camera lives. And then also, like, passenger, driver side, same story. Behind the, it's mostly rear wheel. Behind the wheel well, in the front of the wheel well, that's where the rust seems to be forming. My lipstick didn't last very long right there.
Just for reference on how great of a performance car this is for the age that they're at, I'm going to compare it to a 2024 Subaru WRX, you know, like one of the most legendary all-wheel drive, like fun to drive cars on the market. We're going to compare it to that. Now, the G35X that is behind me right now runs to 0 to 60 in 5.5 seconds, sprinting all the way to a quarter mile in about 14 flat. If we head over to 2024, you know, today's day and age, the Subaru WRX, a mid $30,000 vehicle, we can hit 0 to 60 in 5.4 seconds and a quarter mile at 13.9. And if you're into high-speed chases, the G35X does 130 miles an hour until it reaches the top end, where the new WRX, you can only go another 4 miles an hour. So if you're talking about a performance comparison for $30,000 less, this thing's pretty much dead on with a modern Subaru WRX. And now let's talk about fuel consumption, just because why the heck not, right? This thing gets around 19 miles per gallon, where the Subaru WRX is rated at 19 city, 26 highway. So in reality, this is a very, very similar vehicle to a new Subaru WRX.
I am genuinely glad I was able to purchase this vehicle, because this was a vehicle out there that, like, was not on my radar at all. I didn't get it. I never took the time to research or understand what it was about. Like, even the Nissan 350Z or 370Z, which is essentially the coupe version or the Nissan version of the G35, like, I just kind of dismissed them, to be honest, and I understand there's a lot of fans out there. Before I just continue rambling, my point here is that, like, this is a fantastic car, and I get it. I get why people love these cars. If you're still looking for that new car, or if you're looking for that affordable toy, G35 should be on your list.
Highly recommend the G35, and I think that we are going to go ahead and stamp the G35 as the best car that you can find on the market for under $5,000. The best car that you can find under $10,000 is the Lexus LS 460L. The best car you can find under $50,000 is the Jaguar F-Type R rear-wheel drive. The best car under 25 grand was the C5 Corvette Z06.
Yeah, we're just figuring out life.
We're just figuring out life. Let me know what you guys think of our comments down in the comments below, and we look forward to seeing you next time.